it says live on his side. It must be live on mine, right? Something.
There
We got
we are.
live somewhere. I don't know. It's still my computer's slowly telling me what's going on here. Look. Oh, it says show notifications. We say allow. All right, everybody. Welcome. We have a update, like emergency rule drop. This is a New Mexico CannaCast, everything New Mexico, everything cannabis. This is a special one. We even have our producer with us. So thank you everybody for being here. And we're going to be posting links as we're going around, doing the best we can with everything's going on. So good morning, everybody.
How's it going? Hope y'all doing good. Welcome on this Saturday. And LS, go ahead and introduce yourself, because thank you for joining us. Since you're the producer, no one's really seen you on the show yet.
Well, I want to thank a couple people like Jeff, who sent me a link to alert me to this morning. And so Chad and Josh were already on this rule change. So why don't you go ahead and explain the rule change and how that affects everybody, and why they did it.
Cool. Yeah, well, we figured we'd make it really easy. We're going to actually share, have it popped up on one of my things here. So we're going to do a little share to the screen here. Let me get it set up. So, you don't have to see all the fun stuff.
So pretty much what happened, guys, is the CCD came out and they had an emergency rule change. And it seems like that's going to be their MO right now, is they're just going to go out, change things on the fly, emergency change as we go. I don't know how good or bad it's going to be. We'll see. Josh and I have been really discussing a bunch of stuff and, going through this and everything. So as you see right here, the major change that you're going to see is a plant count increase. And Josh, go ahead. You can explain a little bit more.
So cool deal. All right. So we pretty much doubled our plant counts, right? Is the way it kind of looks from here. And we dropped the fees in half. So everybody that paid for, I imagine they paid for a certain fee, just got double the plant count if they like it, correct? So interesting thing though, you can go up to 20,000 plants. That's another thing that we've seen. Super, and then, okay, everybody, I know this is what you're thinking. I know, because I've been asked already a couple of times, how about the micro license? Well, as Chad and I talked earlier, the micro licenses number, and I believe you checked, right? You verified that in the legislation?
Yeah. So in the statute, when it comes to micro licenses, per law in the CRA, it says you can only have 200 plants. So that's something that's going to have to be changed in Santa Fe in legislature here in a couple of days. So if that's something that you need, whatever, you're going to have to lobby for yourself, meaning that, contact your representatives, show up to Santa Fe, et cetera, and tell them, hey, could we get a plant increase? Because if you look right here, there's actually a gap from 200 to 400. There's nothing in between it. So when it comes from micro to the producer, when it goes from micro to producer, it stops at 200, and then the producer starts at 201. And now it's going to 401. That was the old number. So now it's at 400. So now there's a gap. And so now it kind of makes sense that maybe they are going to change it. So who knows? But if you do want it changed and you want to make sure that it does, contact your representatives, because this is going to be real important. This is an important change right here. I got to plug my computer in real fast.
Well, here's another thing I just did some math, since I'm looking at the numbers, right? So $5 plants at 200 is $1,000, right? That was the micro license fee.
Yeah. So remember, micros don't pay a plant fee.
Right. But they don't, but they pay $1,000 for 200 plants, right?
Yeah, they do.
So, I mean, regardless of what we want to say, that's a plant fee.
Yeah.
Because it's $1,000 divided, by, 200 times 5 is $1,000.
Yeah, exactly.
So no matter what it really is, I mean, we can get it down to numbers, make it plant fees. So by doing this, actually, they took out micro license, like they let everybody be on a level playing ground.
Yeah.
So a $5 plant, so you can go, you know what I mean? So now you are paying the same amount at your 200 as you would now you're paying 2,000 for 400 plants.
Yeah.
So realistically, they pretty much made the micro license ineffective.
Yeah.
Far as money cost, right? Far as plant cost and fees.
Yeah.
Because now, you know what I mean? They can get all this. I mean, I guess you have to pay for your extra licenses. It'll be interesting what they do. But far as the numbers in math, 200 plants is $1,000 at $5 a plant. So, you realistically could do whatever you wanted, and you're still just paying $5 a plant fee.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you still have to pay for, what is it? You have to pay extra fees for your retail, which Carver Family Farms got the retail license. I seen.
Oh, congrats to them.
Yes. So bravo to them. You know what I
And
mean?
I
They
think
have
they
the
call it
producing and the retail
activities, Josh. It's called activities.
activities. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you know what I mean? They have to pay for that. So another thing I seen here, they marked out right down here, guys, is the diagram down here in size.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a plant increase, so you don't have to do that off the bat, which will be interesting, right?
Yeah, that will be interesting.
What else was there? So I think that's it. I want to make sure what we got to the bottom here. Yeah. So here's the fees. So we went from $10 to $5. See how we just went right back to everything. And if you're medical, you're paying $2.50 a plant now.
Yeah, which that drops it down significantly.
Yeah, 1,000 plants is $2,500.
Yeah, and essentially, how much was it in? Well, you got unlimited plants in Oklahoma.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Oklahoma is a very unique beast, and that's why they have the issues that they're having. And I believe it's because they don't have a plant count limit. And you know, when you can go out to acres and acres and acres and plant 500,000 plants, right?
Yeah.
No problem. Like that becomes a problem.
Yeah, no, exactly. It does.
Yeah, and quality, because it comes to just a very huge thing. So yeah, I'm a big fan of, you know what I mean, some kind of limit. I like the NASCAR idea, right? You know, I'm redneck. Everybody get in the same car. You're gonna drive the track, and we're gonna see who's gonna be the best racer, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
And
fees and stuff. I like this. I like that it's $5 a plant. You know what I mean? It makes everything cheaper for everybody to get into.
yeah, and and it's so new. That why start it out so high? Like, let's figure out where we're at first. Like, there's so many that people are guessing what's going to happen, but we don't really know what's going to happen. Like, the consumption lounges, oh, the smoke in the air and this and that. Well, we don't know that. In most cities it's 300 feet between each other, so I mean, that's quite a bit of space. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of speculation. I have a feeling that the legislature will step in and have to increase it to that, because that gap is just weird, dude. Like, and it just wouldn't make sense, and it doesn't seem fair. So if you guys agree and that's what you want, you're just gonna have to contact your representatives and let them know.
Sometimes government doesn't make sense or is fair.
Yeah, right.
So I'm okay with that. I see it as a quick fix. I mean, $5 a plant, you figure it out.
Yeah. They scratch out, do the underlying thing, add 200, 400.
And now you got to up it by 1,000. You can't even up it by 500.
Yeah, that's true.
It says right there, they scratched out 500 and went to 1,000 mature.
Yeah.
So that all good things. I mean, I don't see I see all good things. Everybody's going to get extra plants if they want more plants, or they're going to get a reimbursement and some fees.
All right. Yeah. So let me ask you this, guys. Okay. You can hear me okay, right?
Yes, sir.
What does this mean how does this affect the micro growers themselves? Okay. What are they getting more plants or
no, micro growers don't get more plants yet.
Okay. So explain the yet. I mean, there's a short session coming up. Can something be done in this session? And what do you think the RLD and CCD is trying to change this session? If they have something that they need to change in statute, they have to do it now. Okay, when this starts. So, do you think that there's something on the table?
Time will tell. We will find out. MLG addresses the session on the 18th, which is Tuesday, I believe.
I think so.
And then we'll find out more from there. That'll give us more of the temperature of what's going on in their world. I did see already in the legislation, they've already set a bill to give $12 million to the engineer's office, the state engineers for water and stuff. That'll help expedite their situation, bring on more staff if they can find it. That's another thing, we haven't really talked about staffing. Like, how hard is just staffing anything? So
yeah. How hard is it to find volunteers too? Like some people that do that, like, that's hard. Imagine finding staffing, and now you have to pay them.
so the micro license, for the legislation, they would have to, because it says 200 plants of legislation. So what they would need to do, they would need to open it up. And I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I don't think it's very probable that in 30-day session to get what they need to get done, because realistically, you have to open up House Bill 2, or you have to make some kind of amendment to House Bill. It's something. You know what I mean? I think it goes deeper than I that I want to say it does. I think it's harder than I think it is just putting this in and run it over. I'm not sure though.
They would make a bill, but it would be the such and such amendment to bill such and such. So it'd be its own bill
Gotcha.
that would amend. So like kind of like a SB 406 was, or HB 406.
Yeah.
That amended the Lean Aaron.
My dots are connected now.
Yeah. So they'll have to do that. But yeah, and I don't think they'll have enough time either with a 30-day session. I mean, they really just focus on budget on a 30-day session. And you and I know very well, and Larry knows that on a 30-day session, there's just not much time to do.
But if there's something that they want to get done.
Yeah. However, if the governor does put it on her docket, they do have to address it. So that's one thing too. So there could be an opportunity where she does docket, because there's a few things in the CRA that does need revision and kind of changes. And I've already kind of had word from people from all over the community that, you know, there could be a chance of it changing and being put on a docket. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
That is the rumor on the cannabis street.
Yep, that is the rumor.
Have you guys checked the Facebook chat to see if there are any questions?
Oh, I will check right now.
Let's see if anyone has any questions.
I've been kind of going back and forth.
Let
me check. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions, let us know. We're gonna be recording this right now. It's gonna go on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to keep it as raw as possible. I'm not gonna do any like clips, just maybe at the beginning and the end, you know, if like we messed up or kind of picking our nose or whatever. So
I don't think I was
if you guys have any questions, let us know. Maybe, you know, someone else will have the question later on.
Yeah, somebody does.
Yeah, go ahead, George. I'm gonna check through the comments too, Josh, if you want to address that question.
No, I'm looking at those too. Yeah. So the thing is with the micro license, guys, the 200 plants to be a micro license, but that's why I was getting down to what your fees are going to be, right? So your fees are just, you know, it's a $5 plant fee if you're doing 200 plants. So, you know, yeah. So it'll be, if you go vertically integrated, it'll cost you a little more.
So George asks, just want to know what's going on for the medical programs.
I'll be honest with you, it's dying slowly, maybe faster than slow.
And guys, if you look at any state historically, that's what happened to their medical program. You know, it's pretty much
sucks,
died and goes down. I mean, Colorado's kind of kept theirs intact, but I mean, their numbers dropped. I mean, our numbers are probably going to drop 50% or more. You know, that's just what happens.
Yeah, they could change the price.
For what?
The micros. Jeffrey said they could change the price for micros, and they could. They would. They definitely could do that. Didn't think about that. That'd definitely be an easy change. So just changing the fees for micro license. Unless that's in legislation, I don't think it is though.
Yeah, because it was what, $500 or $1,000?
Yeah, exactly. The tax break and the medical card. Yeah, it was $5. That's why I was thinking, you know. So no, and the medical thing. Here's where medical is going back to its grassroots. Everybody can grow with the way we got things. So I wish morning, David. I wish everybody could grow. You know what I mean, and then figure out strains and share and live that community. Yeah, so there definitely could be a lot more going on in the medical is going to go back to compassionate gifting. I mean, transferring, right? Is what it's.
Be careful using that compassionate word.
Yeah,
when we're talking about stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, since I guess there's some new people that have jumped in, so why don't you do like a quick recap of why we're doing this morning and how it affects people. Who does it do the most for? Is my question to you.
I believe in my view, it's for you know, all the producers who want to get in. Definitely the people that have bigger pockets. You know, that's just the way it is. It's easier for them to scale, but still, it costs money to scale. When you ever put more plants in your facility, you have to put more things to combat. Like if you're indoor, right? This is just indoor. Outdoor, yeah, you're going to need more room. You know, maybe more fencing. So anytime you increase plants, it's just not the plant fee. It's the fees that come along with the plants, the labor, the nutrients, the media cost, everything with it, lighting, square footage. So, you know, that's another thing to think about. But, you know, even like I said, for micro licenses, if you just want to be a micro license producer now, you know, realistically, it gave you a leg up. Now you can go be a producer for, you know, do 400 plants, or, you know what I mean? If you want to do 1,000 plants, you know, your options are there. A lot easier. That $5 a plant count fee now. Yeah, that's how I look at it, because you're paying that anyways with 200 by 1,000.
So what increments can a micro license increase?
I don't know. That's another good question. That is let me look.
Okay.
In the comments, someone did mention that, it's 500 and 1,000 for 100 and 200 plants. So, I mean, I think that's the increments. I mean, I don't know if they allow you to go in 50 or 25s of increments either. I mean, the state may, like, hey, can we do 150 or 200 or, like 175 or something like that? I don't know.
Well, isn't there a void in like from 401 to and up? Isn't there a void in there to where it's questionable of how you get into that plan count?
Well, there's a void, but there's no way to enter anything past that void because the legislature, it stops you at 200 in the law. So the CCD cannot do anything. I don't know if Josh is going to pull up. Okay.
So
I can pull up the law if you guys need to.
Oh yeah. So here's that. That's what Larry's talking about right there is the 401 to 200 because it was
2,000.
Yeah, to 2,000. So, and then here's the increment, right? So these big licenses, they want it in 1,000 plant increments. So that's another thing. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? The micro license didn't benefit anything from this. The larger producers did. That is what it is. I mean, it's still, like I said, 5,000 or $5 a plant count, but yeah. So yeah, people that can go up to 16, we can go up to 20. You can see down here, where is the 20,000? I'll highlight it. I seen it earlier.
Do you mean 2,000?
20.
20,000.
You can go up to maximum plants. Instead of it was 16, it was 20,000. Where was that at?
And so
right
what about stacked licenses? So they some of these people could be growing 40 to 60,000 plants.
Yes, they can. I mean, that, it could get real big real quick for some real big pockets.
It'll be interesting to see how they handle that many plants. If they can, some people weren't handling 1,000 plants and 1,200 plants that well over the last few years. So it'll be interesting once they expand so big, what that's going to be like. What kind of learning curve are they going to have?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I mean, because you have these facilities that are sharing property, and you're just going to have. Wow, yeah. Interesting.
No, you're right. Like more plants are more problems if you don't even know what you're doing with your own plants right now.
Yeah.
So
more plants, more problems.
Yeah. I mean, and when you do it indoor, it gets compounding real quick when you start adding more plants, and that, and it goes to canopy, but then it goes back to plants and how much water you feed them, and then how much they're going to off gas. Like there's a whole series of math problem that's just like, oh my goodness. And it gets even crazier. When you start doing, bigger facilities and compounding. So no, it will be interesting. I bet there'll be probably more. My guess is there'll be more emergency rules dropping here soon.
And of course, you guys will keep everybody up to date. And any more questions in the chat box, or we're good?
Nothing that I can see.
All right.
This is a quick one, and I'll even try to put this on Spotify and everything.
Right, and we'll probably do a clubhouse room in our New Mexico clubhouse advocacy room that we have there. So anybody that wants to jump back in and then have an interaction with us, we're going to set up a time later this afternoon, and we'll post it on Facebook and everything so everyone can join. And the interesting thing is now we can put a link up where people that aren't on Clubhouse could actually listen in. So we'll do that as well. So
you guys heard it. So if you don't even have a Clubhouse account, don't know what it is, you can still listen. It's like a live podcast.
Exactly. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, no problem. So that's everything I have, guys. We'll see you guys here a little bit later on Clubhouse. So everything New Mexico, everything cannabis.
Peace and love.
Dudes.